We all know what the problem is. And it's not Hakim Ziyech, it's not Christian Pulisic, it's not Callum Hudson-Odoi even, no matter what you lot say. The reality is, it's the midfield. You need to find an alternative to Jorginho. Let's get into this. Welcome to the Kavkas View. Today's video is going to be a hard one for me to make. I am Jorginho's biggest fan. I think Jorginho is fantastic. I think when a team is built around Jorginho, he is amazing. Prime Jorginho is something that a lot of footballers I haven't been able to see in my lifetime. Some of my favourite footballers ever, Michael Ballack, Essien, Lampard, could not do what Jorginho does in that regista role. But is it good enough to be winning football? Is this what Chelsea need? And yesterday's performance against Brighton was the epitome of one too many times. And I've seen this one too many times from Chelsea, not only from Jorginho. And I've got 4 major topics that we need to talk about. In today's video, there's no transfer rumours. There is no reaction. This is off the heart, off the cuff, not planned. Reality check for Chelsea F.C. Let's get it. But before we get started, this will be the last video of 2021. This video will be the last video of a fantastic year for the Kavkas View, where we've got over 800,000 views, more than 7,000 new subscribers, which is phenomenal. So thank you very much to every single one of you. Hit that one-time like button for every single one of you. Drop the clues bombs on all of you, because without you, there is no channel. Without you, there is no one watching, there is no one interacting, and there is no one appreciating, arguing, calling me names, calling me great, calling me GOAT, calling me a phony, calling me whatever you lot call me. So I appreciate it. I love it. It's part of the game. Let's get into this difficult video. And we're going to start with a bang, and we're going to try to knock the ball out of the park straight away. The biggest issue Chelsea have at this moment in time is we are compensating for us. A lot of players deficient. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. We are covering the weaknesses of certain players and focusing on their positives and not coming to the conclusion whether it is a net positive. And this is the issue. Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante is a fantastic midfield combination, any three-way. But is it good enough across 38 games? And this is where the issue for me lies. We know N'Golo Kante is good enough across 38 games. Premier League winner, multiple occasions. Champions League winner. France, World Cup winner. Euros on numerous occasions in the final. Nations League winner. We know who he is. Week in, week out, you get that guy in the team. You get performances. The problem is Kante is old now, and he can't hold Jorginho's hands and cover for his deficiency. So Chelsea go with the 3 at the back system. What does that cause? It means Chelsea all of a sudden are overprotective for Jorginho. Why? Because Jorginho lacks legs and gets overrun in the midfield. And what Basuma done to him yesterday is something I've seen on numerous occasions. The problem is Jorginho covers that up with fantastic performances afterwards. Don't be surprised against Liverpool if he gets man in the match. The problem is when you're going after a league, you can't have a player on 8 different occasions in a season guaranteed has that shocking of a performance. And you can't build a team around him because it ruins the rest of the attack. The balance of the team ends up being off. And this is the issue for Chelsea. What goals do we have from the midfield? Kovacic and Jorginho are fantastic players. Please don't get me wrong. I appreciate everything they've done. I think Kovacic is an 8. And I think you get the right DM there. And I'm not saying Declan Rice. I'm talking about the profile of the defensive midfielder. Someone strong, athletic, that eats up ground. Someone that's decent on the ball. Doesn't have to be a regista, but should be competent enough to turn around and link a few passes left and right. Fabinho, Rodri, someone of that caliber. Someone with a frame to impose and crunch someone if needed. The amount of times Jorginho passes people on, they're pointing. Someone beats him and he's pointing for the 3rd centre-back to come out. Ruins shape. It ruins the authenticity of the team. And Jorginho, in my opinion, is a big cog that is going wrong in this team. Yes, the fullbacks are bad as well. Alonso is another issue. Then you have the issue that Aspi's going to play right wing back. He shouldn't be playing for Chelsea Football Club at his age. I love the player. He shouldn't be playing. Left wing back, Alonso, shouldn't be playing for Chelsea. It doesn't make sense. I'm not saying, by the way, we need to sell Jorginho. I'm saying we need to buy another option. And when I say another option, I mean a defensive option, a DM option. And the reason I'm saying we need a DM is to have the ability of changing to a back four. At this moment in time, we don't have the ability to change to a back four. Why? Because this back four system with Jorginho in it is going to look like Frank Lampard's back four system with Jorginho in it. This system will look like it was under Sarri, where we were getting overrun in the midfield, and there were games where we were getting slapped 6, but games where we were getting slapped 4, but occasions when we're keeping clean sheets and dominating. It's fine. So we need to be realistic, and we need to look at what we have. We have N'Golo Kante, Kovacic, Mason Mount, Conor Gallagher, Billy Gilmore, good players that all can play in the 8. Maybe even Kai Havertz potentially can play in the 8. All we're missing is that lone defender. Then you can put Reece James back into his rightful position, right back. You got a Ben Chilwell at left back. You got Christensen or Rudiger. Learn to play in the back 2, or you will be sold. It's as simple as that. Learn to play there, or you will be sold, and we have to move on. Thiago is more than good enough to play in a 2, and all of a sudden you have your team. You need a strong spine, and this team lacks the spine. And for me, this issue will not be tolerated, not be fixed, until we look at that. And please don't get me started on this board, because this board is part of the issue. You gave us Saul Niguez when we needed a competent DM. They gave us Saul. They went for the alternative, 2 years of scouting Saul alternative. What did you do? He's not even good enough. And you know why when he's not good enough? Tuchel knows he's not good enough. Tuchel didn't play him yesterday when Kante's on one hamstring. Jorginho has got back pains to the point where he can't carry 50 kilos of his body frame because he's that skinny. And Kovacic just came back from the vid. Saul's the fittest player and he didn't make it on the pitch. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, and this board thought it was good enough cover. And this is where the problem lies. It's the cheap alternatives of this club. Virgil van Dijk, 5 million, nah, we're not going to do it. Alisson, nah, we're not going to do it. They go to Liverpool, they dominate English football for a little bit. They're getting 100 points, they're getting 99 points. It's the board. The board doesn't invest accordingly, managers don't get backed, hence managers get sacked. Then we need to look at other players. And this is where the issue arises. I actually don't think Hakim Ziyech, Christian Pulisic, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz all can be shit. The way everyone's making it sound is they're all terrible. They are all bad players. They're all unproductive. They are lack of consistency in their play. And then I have to ask myself the question, because I have to go and reflect. And this is the issue when we start losing. We have to reflect, because the same things can't keep happening over and over again. And then we start saying, these players are bad players, because we signed these players for a certain reason. Hakim was one of the most creative players in Europe. I granted it's the Eredivisie, but his Champions League exploits proved it. Then Kai Havertz, one of the most exciting young players. Timo Werner, goal machine, consistently getting chances. Then you have Christian Pulisic, who's a dribble merchant. Put him on the wing. Why is he on the right wing back? Why is he asked to defend? You saw how uncomfortable he was yesterday defending. Why is he there? Play a back 4. I just don't understand this logic. So for me, it's we're compensating with attackers who look after the one and only Jorginho, or look after our centre-backs. And this is where the issue lies. Well, sometimes you have to go punch for punch. Sometimes you have to go for the kill. You have to go for the throw. But we don't do that. It's too methodical, it's too textbook, it's too, I am going to wait and see what happens. It's causing more issues than it's solving. And this is where my issue lies with Chelsea Football Club at this moment in time. Because I don't think there are a lot of bad players in this team. I just think there are a lot of specialist players. Players that can only do a certain system, so we are all of a sudden married to these systems. We're not married to a style of play. We're not married to a profile of player. We are married to a system that suits the auxiliary players, such as an Alonso, such as a Jorginho, such as a Rudiger, who prefers to play in a back 3. A Christensen, who wants to be in the centre of a back 3. All of a sudden, Tuchel was getting the best out of a back 3 system, and he's doing miracles. The problem is eventually miracles end. Cinderella's sort of story ends, and you move on like Spider-Man. You absolutely move on like Spider-Man. You have no next tale. You don't know what's happened. You get erased from history, and the next manager comes in. And this is on track to what's going to happen to Thomas Tuchel unless he sorts this out. And it's the sad reality. Finally, and I think another thing that the fans and board need to realize is our timelines don't match up. I think a lot about football is to do with timelines. I think a lot to do with football is about the respect of the right timing of something occurring. Chelsea are not primed to win this league title. And I got get sucked in, and I can't sit here and be a hypocrite. And the reason I'm saying Chelsea can't get sucked in is because I convinced myself we have the best defense in the world. I convinced myself that we're going to keep clean sheets. We're going to win games 1-0. We're going to concede less than 15 goals this year. We're going to break that record, and we are going to be fine. But the problem is the swan song ended, and we aren't fine. We are in big trouble. And this is where a lot of people are going to disagree. Callum Hudson-Odoi is getting a lot of abuse. Callum is getting an abnormal amount of abuse at this moment in time. And it frustrates me that an individual at the age of 21 is getting so much abuse. People are going back and saying Callum conceded to cost us 6 points. How did Callum cost us 6 points? Callum Hudson-Odoi is not the reason Chelsea dropped 6 points. Callum Hudson-Odoi is not the main reason why Chelsea dropped points against Everton. Chelsea dropped points against Manchester United. Chelsea dropped points against Burnley. Yesterday, things happen in 90 minutes of football. You can't go back to the pinpoint and the origin. And another factor, if you want young players to come through the academy, you have to give them time to grow. Vinicius Jr. was growing at Real Madrid and now is a world beater 12 months on. You only get better by playing games by repetition. Saka went 8 months without a league goal. He is learning, he is developing. Mason Greenwood went 4 to 5 months without a goal. He was learning, he started the season on fire. I can keep going. Players are going to be inconsistent. Mason Mount will be inconsistent. Callum Hudson-Odoi will be inconsistent. I can accept inconsistency from them because I don't expect to win a league title when Mason Mount at the age of 22 is a starter, when Callum Hudson-Odoi at the age of 21 is a starter, Reece James a starter. I don't expect to win a league title. I just expect to see good signs and progress in this team. The problem is a lot of people want to see the end product without going through the graft. And the problem is it's not that simple. We're going to have to accept it. And the fact of the matter is, Kai Havertz is not the end product. He is 21 years old. People say you're overly harsh on Timo Werner and Hakim Ziyech. Yes, because they're in their prime. Even Pulisic, not the end product. And I feel sorry for them because they're being put in a system that doesn't suit them. And I don't see Tuchel changing anytime because I think Tuchel's scared of what will happen if we go to a back four with Jorginho at the base. Because where is Jorginho going to play? If a DM comes in, where does Jorginho play? And I'm not making him the scapegoat. I really am not. But I actually think a lot of problems will be fixed if he comes out of the team. And maybe the ball retention will be a little bit low, but I think we'll be a lot more penetrative and I think we'll be a lot more productive in front of him. I think there needs to be a change and it needs to be soon. I'm sorry if I ranted, but I'm still annoyed. I really am. Like, we have dropped 8 points at home in the last month. 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous to be taking leads and throwing results. Peeps, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel because I would have been here for. Peace out, I'm out.